Thank you both for joining me today. And I thought one of the things before we got started, I would share with you some things that we did with a study with Aberdeen company and with Texas A&M University. We came up with some statistics I thought it'd be interesting to share with you today. First of all, one of the things we came up with was a number 82, 46, 24, and 15. Well, what do these numbers mean to you? Well, basically what I want to say is that 82% of the clients that we surveyed said that utilization increased equals a return on investment. Basically saying 82% of the people we surveyed said that by increasing the utilization, they were basically going to get a better return on their investment. What was really interesting on this same survey is that 46% don't track it. Meaning almost 50% of the people that we surveyed in that said they don't even track the utilization. Our own studies internally with our own customers say that 24% of our own customers tend to return equipment 15 days past due. So I just wanted to say that what we found out and talking with these clients, and similar to yourself, is that utilization equals profit. What do you think of that? Well, what I'd like to do now is talk a little bit more about kind of the environment of today with your organization. As we've gone around and worked with different clients similar to yourself, a lot of customers have come to us and really kind of came up with a few things that we thought were kind of interesting to look at. A lot of our clients today are telling us they have multiple locations, they have multiple systems, multiple vendors, tend to have a lot of other redundancies that are going through the process. And what we found by having all of this information, that it ends up costing the company more money, and it's taking up way too much time, and it's affecting their people. So what do we end up finding out is that it's too much, it's too long, and it's too complex. By using all of this system, it's basically putting a burden on the total situation of the rental process. And a lot of companies have said what they like to do is take their current state of today and get to a future state that is more profitable and more beneficial. And a lot of companies are saying, well, how do we go from the current state of where we are today to get to that future state? And the first thing people might come out and say is that we're going to look at price. Which is, I would say, is a logical start to the process. The unfortunate thing about price, or rate in this case, is that it only ends up being 1/6 of the equation to get you to the future state. What we've determined by working with lots of customers is when we work with you and talk with you, we understand that to get from the today state to the future state actually requires a little bit more thought than just price. 1/6 of the way, we've actually come up with 3 different areas that we think is important. The first area that we've actually come up with is visibility. You've talked to me and said that one of the things that you're trying to get is better visibility to the overall process, who, what, when, where, and how. And with the processes that we're going to demonstrate today, we're going to show you the way that you can actually look into the system and get a better visibility of the whole rental process. The other thing that customers like yourself have said is that they need to streamline a process. They need to come up with a solution that basically encompasses a way for somebody to do something very quickly and efficiently. That includes the person that's requesting the information all the way through the system to processing the invoices on the back end. streamlining the process is a very big part of the overall cost of rental. Then the last piece is basically the metric side. You're going to drive down the cost and increase your productivity. And we found by looking at this process versus price, we call this the RSC, consumption management system. And what this system basically has been able to do with customers like yourself is by linking the three together, we can show 6 times that of price. 6 times the savings of what price can do. And what's really great about the whole thing and working together and coming up with a partnership is that it's repetitive. It does not stop. We work together as a team, and by coming up with this process, we're able to go back and look at it from a 90-day perspective, 180-day perspective, or even a year, and duplicate the results that we've had. By doing these measurements, we are providing you what we think is best-in-class solution, you and RSC. Any questions? Great. Well, let me have one more thing I want to share with you I think you'll find beneficial to the conversation we just had. While we were working with one of our large oil and gas companies, we came up with a couple of numbers. 35, 28, and 3. What do you think those mean? Well, we've basically said by 35% utilization increase, we were able to reduce costs by 28%. And what's really cool about this whole process is that we did this in 3 months. So you can see by implementing a solution that we described in this picture I call the consumption bridge, we were able to show in this case with this customer 35% utilization increase, a 28% cost reduction, and we did it in 3 months. I'd really like to come work with you and see if we can duplicate these efforts. What do you think?